Namaskar, I am Dr. Shalja Jain from Department of Electronics and Engineering, JC Bose University of Science and Technology. Today we will do code for digital transmission. For digital transmission, we have to encode our digital data into digital signals, and for this we have to use line codes. Basically, line codes are used to convert digital data into digital signals. These line codes are used for transmission of digital signal over transmission line. This can also be used because this will avoid inter-symbol interference. Basically, what happens when we transmit an analog signal and we have to use sampling circuit to convert it into discrete signals. If we transmit these discrete signals directly over band limited channel, then these signals get dispersed. There is a overlapping of signal which cause distortion, which is known as inter-symbol interference. So, to avoid inter-symbol interference, the discrete signals are not directly transmitted over band limited channel, but these are first converted into digital pattern or digital wave or digital signal, and then we can transmit these signals over transmission lines. These PAM, pulse amplitude modulated patterns of signals, are known as line codes. Basic properties of line codes are: first property is the transmission bandwidth must be as small as possible. Means the number of pulses used to transmit a signal must be minimum, so that we can transmit large number of signals over the same bandwidth. Second one is power efficiency. Again, it should be as small as possible for a given bandwidth and probability of error. Then the code must have error detection and correction capability, and it must be possible to detect and correct the error by using these line codes. Next one is ease of detection and decoding. When we encode any digital data into digital signal for transmission at the transmitter side, on receiver side we have to convert these digital signals into digital data. That's why the coding and detection must be proper for line codes. Next property is favorable power spectral density. Favorable power spectrum density means DC component must be equal to 0, because DC component doesn't carry any information. Amount of information is in some form of frequency. Moreover, we are used repeaters, and at the repeaters we can use AC coupling and transformers, and we know for AC coupling and transformer we must have AC signals having some frequency. Next characteristic is adequate timing content. It must be possible to extract timing or control information or clock information from encoded digital signal. We have encoded digital signal, then it must be possible that we can extract clock signal from these encoded messages. Next one is the transparency. Transparency means it must provide long string of ones and zeros. When we are encoding a message, we must avoid long string of 1 and 0, because it will generate some error and it will not be possible to detect this signal at the receiver side. Now come to these are the properties of this. Now we have line coding and decoding block diagram. First of all, we have a digital data sender which will generate signal in the form of 1010 and 10 pattern. Then we have a line encoder, and this line encoder will convert a digital data into digital signal and digital waveform, and then we have to transmit this signal over a transmission line. Then using a transmission line we have to transmit this signal, and at the receiver side we again receive digital signal in the form of pulses. Now at the receiver side we have to detect and decode the message. That's why we have to use a decoder, and this decoder will convert, you can say, a digital signals into digital data, and then a digital data in the form of 1110 will be received at the destination point. Next, we have different types of line codes. Basically, we have three types of line code. One is unipolar, second one is polar, and third one is bipolar. In unipolar, bipolar and polar category, we again have two different categories. One is non-return to zero, known as NRZ, and second one is return to zero, that is known as RZ. In polar again we have polar non-return to zero and polar return to zero. In bipolar category again we have bipolar non-return to zero, that is also known as alternate mark inversion, and we will discuss it later on why we call it alternate mark inversion. And in bipolar category we again have bipolar return to zero. And bipolar category we have different type of codes. One is split phase Manchester coding, and this one is very important. And next code is polar quaternary non-return to zero format of coding line codes. Now we will discuss all these code one by one, and we will encode the digital data into digital signals. First come to this polar unipolar non-return to zero. In unipolar non-return to zero, data 1 will be transmitted in digital signal, and here a data signal will be represented by a presence of pulse having amplitude A or V for the whole duration of signal, that is TB. TB is the baud rate of the pulse. If the baud rate of the pulse is TB, then the data 1 in non-return to zero will be represented by a clock pulse of amplitude A for the whole cycle for the time period of TB. And data 0 will be represented by no pulse for the whole duration. For the complete interval, data 1 is represented by a +1 pulse and data 0 is represented by no pulse. In case of unipolar return to zero, as the name indicating, here we have to return at zero position. We will return at zero position means for unipolar return to zero, data 1 will be a pulse 1 or digital data 1 will be represented by A for the half interval. Half interval means half time of clock pulse, that will be TB by 2. And for the next half duration it will be represented by 0, or we can say automatically data 1 will be returned to 0 for half cycle of pulse, and data 0 is again represented by 0 for the whole duration of cycle. Clear? In case of unipolar non-return to zero, data 1 is represented by a pulse of amplitude A for the whole duration. Data 0 is represented by no pulse. In unipolar return to zero, in any case of return to zero, data 1 is represented by data A for first half interval and pulse 0 with pulse 0 or no pulse, you can say, for next half duration of cycle, and data 0 is represented by no pulse for the whole cycle. And we can explain this by taking this example. Let us suppose we are transmitting our data, or we are converting our data, digital data 1011010001 in digital signals, and the TB is the presence of clock pulse, cycle of clock pulse. And here in unipolar non-return to zero, simple data 1 is represented by a presence of pulse and data 0 is represented by absence of pulse. It will consist of 1011010001 presence of pulse and not presence of pulse respectively. And in case of unipolar return to zero, as shown in this diagram, in case of unipolar non-return to zero, unipolar return to zero, this data 1 is represented by a pulse of amplitude A for half duration, that is TB by 2, and for the next half cycle TB by 2 it will return to 0, and again data 0 is represented by no pulse, right, and data 1 is again represented by pulse 1 for half duration, half TB, and then data 0 then 1 will be represented by no pulse for next half duration, then pulse data 1 is represented by pulse of amplitude A for first half cycle, and then 0 way for next half cycle and so on, right? From this waveform we can conclude that in unipolar non-return to zero, the pulse does not return to zero on its own. If the symbol value is 0, then only it will be returned to 0. But in case of unipolar return to 0, the signal automatically, by applying some condition as we done in unipolar return to 0, the symbol will return to 0 for next half duration. And hence we can say, as there is no separation between pulses, we must have proper synchronization between sender and receiver. And regarding DC value, there will be some presence of DC value. It depends upon number of ones in case of unipolar non-return to 0 and unipolar return to 0. And energy of pulses is more, and there will be no error correction capability. Next come to this polar encoding. In case of polar encoding, we will assign two levels. One is positive level and one is negative level. In unipolar coding, we had assigned only positive value to the data. Data 1 will be represented by magnitude of A in case of unipolar non-return to 0. But in polar non-return to 0, data 1 will be represented by positive pulse and data 0 will be represented by negative pulse. Or we can say data 1 will be represented by positive pulse of amplitude A for the whole duration, that is TB, and data 0 will be represented by a negative pulse of amplitude again A for the whole duration, that is TB. And in polar return to 0, again in polar return to 0, the signal will be returned at 0 for the next half cycle. Here data 1 will be represented by positive pulse of amplitude A for the duration up to TB by 2 and 0 for next half cycle of the pulse, that is next TB from TB by 2 to TB. And again data 0 will be represented by minus A for the first half cycle and for 0 for next half cycle. Again this can be clear by this example. Again we are considering the same data 101101001001. Here in polar non-return to 0, data 1 is represented by positive pulse, data 0 is represented by negative pulse as shown in figure. And in polar return to 0, data 1 is represented by a pulse of amplitude A for first half cycle and it will return to 0 for next half cycle. Similarly, data 0 is represented by a pulse of negative A amplitude for first half cycle and then it will be returned to 0 for next half cycle. Means for half duration we will represent data 1 by positive pulse and it will be 0 for next half cycle of positive pulse. Next data 0 will be represented by negative pulse of amplitude A for first half cycle and 0 for next half cycle. For half interval we represent the data by positive and negative pulse and for half duration we will represent it by 0 pulse. This one is your polar non-return to 0 and polar return to 0. Now from these characters, from these waveform, we can say that in polar non-return to 0, the DC value, overall DC value will be reduced because here we are assigning some positive pulses, some negative value, or you can say total value of DC which carry no information will be decreased. And here format is bipolar, so DC value component is minimum or reduced. If the probability of occurrence of symbol 1 and 0 are the same, then DC value will be equal to 0. If we have same number of 1s and 0 in digital data, then DC value will be equal to 0. Next is bipolar non-return to 0. Bipolar non-return to 0 means again we have to represent data 1 In this case, data 1 is represented by pulses with alternate polarity and zeros are represented by no pulse. Clear? Data 1 is represented by pulses with alternate polarity. Means for the first time, if data 1 is represented by positive pulse having amplitude A, then if 1 comes second time, it will be represented by a pulse of magnitude minus A. Right? And if 1 is again comes third time, it will be represented by plus A. Means first time 1 will be represented by positive pulse, second time it will be represented by negative pulse having amplitude A, third time it will be represented by plus A, and fourth time it will be represented by minus A. Means at alternate value we will change its value. That's why we call it alternate Mach inversion. And again data 0 will be represented by no pulse. Again it will be more clear by using this example. Again data will be same 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1. Again bipolar non-return to 0 AMI, alternate Mach inversion. We have to remember this only. The 1 will be represented alternately. If first time 1 comes, it will be represented by positive pulse. Second time 1 comes, it will be represented by negative pulse. Then third time 1 will be represented by positive pulse, and so on. And data 0 will be represented by no pulse. Similarly, in bipolar return to 0 alternate Mach inversion, we have to keep in mind that in bipolar, or you can say in return to 0, we have to represent the symbol by for half duration only, and for half duration it will return to 0. That's why for first time data 1 will be represented by positive pulse for half cycle, that is dB/2 duration, and for next half duration it will be represented by no pulse or 0 pulse. Now if 1 comes second time, then it will be represented by pulse of magnitude minus A for first half cycle, and with no pulse for next half cycle. And again if 1 comes third time, then it will be again represented by positive pulse of amplitude A for half duration and 0 for next duration, and so on. If data 0 is there, then it will be represented by no pulse. This one is bipolar non-return to 0 and bipolar return to 0. As we can see from the waveform, in alternate Mach inversion, if there are even number of ones and zeros, then there will be no DC components. This is because the inversion pulse for alternate values of 1. If we have even number of ones and 0, then DC value will be equal to 0. Clear? And again this one is the most important advantage of this bipolar non-return to 0 and return to 0, because DC value contain no information. There is transmission of information, or you can say information is contained only in frequency components. Next coding is split phase Manchester coding. This one is very important coding, and it has wonderful advantage over all other coding method. In this case, split phase Manchester coding, data 1 is represented by positive pulse for the duration of half. For half duration we represent data 1 by positive pulse of A, and for the next half cycle it is represented by data pulse of minus A. Means data 1 is represented by positive pulse and negative pulse as well, but for half duration only. Similarly, data 0 is represented by pulse of magnitude minus A for first half cycle, and then with magnitude plus A for next half cycle. Means data 1 is represented by plus A minus A for first half cycle, then second half cycle. Data 0 is represented by minus A plus A for first half cycle and second half cycle respectively. And this one is given by this example: positive pulse, positive data 1 is represented by positive pulse and then negative pulse, then data 0 is represented by negative pulse first and then positive pulse, and so on. And the most important advantage of this coding is split phase Manchester coding is irrespective of probability of occurrence of ones and zero, DC value is always 0, because here we are representing data 1 by positive value and negative value as well. Similarly, data 0 is represented by negative value, positive value as well. Each 1 and each 0 automatically returns 0 value of DC components. But it has disadvantage. It requires absolute sense of polarity at the receiving end, otherwise 1 can be decoded as 0 and 0 can be decoded as 1. Here we have to keep in mind what was the previous value of the code, 1 0 and 0 1, because here 1 is also represented by plus a and minus a. Similarly, data 0 is also represented by minus a and plus a. Last coding is polar quaternary no return to 0 format. As the name indicating, we have two polarity, one is positive, one is negative, by giving a name of polar. Quaternary means we have to assign 4 values. Now here, instead of taking one digital data, we are taking 2 digital data together, and the combination will be 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Here we are taking 2 symbols together, and for each combination we will assign different digital symbol. If digital data is 0 0, then we have to assign the value is minus 3a by 2. If the symbol combination is 0 1, then we assign value minus a by 2. If we have data 1 0 combination, then we assign value a by 2, and if we have a combination of 1 and 1, then we assign a digital signal to this 3a by 2. And here the t as that will be the sampling time will be double, that will be equal to 2b, because here we are converting 2 data bits together, right? That's why we call it polar quaternary no return to 0 format. It has double polarity signal, positive as well as negative, and we are considering 4 datas, right? Again we are taking same example with the data 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 0. For the first 2 symbols we have 1 and 0. That's why to this 1 and 0 we have to assign symbol a by 2. Here we have 4 levels. 1 is 3a by 2, then a by 2, then we have minus a by 2, and then 3 minus 3a by 2. That's why to a symbol combination of symbol 1 and 0 we have to assign value a by 2. Next combination of signals we have 1 1. Now to 1 1 we have to assign value 3a by 2. Next combination of signal is 1 by 0 1. To 0 1 we have to assign value minus a by 2, and then we have 0 0 combination, that's why we have to assign value minus 3a by 2, and so on. Next symbol is 1 0 combination, we have to assign value a by 2, and so on, right? This method is again there will be some value of DC value. If we have same number of 1 and 0, even number of 1 and 0, then again we will have DC value is equal to 0. Among all these line coding technique, we always prefer split phase Manchester coding, because in this case we have DC value component is equal to 0 irrespective of probability of occurrence of 1 and 0. This one is the idea about different types of line code which are used for transmission of digital signals. Any question? No? Thank you.